And I've got the big screen up to hit the sound. And I've got the big screen up to hit the sound. Try it now and see what happens.
Good morning, District 115. Good morning, Phyllis. It worked. That's all that matters.
Sooner or later, I'm going to get this right. I just don't seem to be as quick as Ken, and that is disturbing. I realize he's a little younger than me, but he shouldn't have more talent.
Well, there's the new buzzword for all of these issues is there's always YouTube. So I'm gonna do some of that. I mean, why the heck not? I mean, that's how you learn everything now, isn't it?
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Well, YouTube does have something for everyone.
Sure, it sure does.
Channel.
Yeah, I certainly don't want to diminish YouTube. Here on Wake Up with Toastmasters. It's a great platform and it has some really great stuff. So anyways, everybody, good morning. My name is Scott. That's Phyllis on the other side. We are your co-host for Wake Up with Toastmasters on Thursday morning, same time, same channel. So Phyllis, we have some news around the new club from the new club department.
Amen.
Very exciting stuff going on. I'm telling you. As I mentioned last Thursday, Gene Williams, district director, and I met with our contact over at the Venetian Hotel, right on the glorious Vegas Strip there. And they are very excited about chartering, and we talked about a startup meeting, as you like to term it. Other people might know it as a demo meeting. It's the same thing. Startup meeting might actually be a little more accurate than demo. Demo doesn't necessarily capture everything, but in any event, we are looking at a startup meeting, very likely in the very beginning of November. I know Ken Richardson, current program quality director, he forwarded me the chartering paperwork that the Venetian had filled out. So that is done and complete and signed off on. They are going to pay the dues for their members.
Excellent.
Which is outstanding and wonderful and all kinds of other positive words. So here is what we are going to need. They want us to do a showcase, is what they're calling it, so that the staff at the Venetian can find out about our wonderful organization firsthand, and we can answer any questions that anybody might have, including what in the world is Toastmasters, and hand out literature and just generally be available for exposure and to promote the soon to charter club. I, of course, would like to see more than one club form out of this particular place because it's certainly big enough to support it. But we want to get the one club done and then think about more than one club out of there. So we are looking tentatively at October 13th, which is coming right up. It's actually next week. Yes, they're not wasting any time with this, which is really good. And the showcase would essentially be whoever we turn out to be, we in quotes, having a table outside the cafeteria. I guess there's two separate cafeterias that our contact there mentioned that we could very easily set up a table at. And we're going to be there during the lunch hour. So something on the order of 11 a.m. till about 1, maybe 1:30 at the latest. And it's going to be our chance to promote not only Toastmasters, but of course our district and what's in it for them, which is everybody's favorite question. And that's fine. That's why people join, to get benefit from our communication and leadership training. So very exciting stuff happening over at the Venetian, and no doubt that at least one club is going to form out of this, maybe more than one club. There's certainly room for it. I know from having talked to our contact, Gene and I both know that they are primarily, the interest has primarily been from the more administrative side of the staff. I think a lot of people in the finance and the accounting office have expressed interest and are part of the chartering. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there could wind up being one club for the administrative and another club for other departments or whatever the case may be. But this is going to happen, and it's an absolutely wonderful thing for our district that this is happening. And I'm sure down the line that one of the things that we're going to be able to do once they are up and running, whether it's one club or 2 or 3 clubs, which is what I'm looking for out of this, is to use it as leverage for some of the other hotels to come on board. And we'll see what happens with that. We certainly have the capacity. We have obviously hotels on the Strip with thousands and thousands of employees. So there's no reason to not have a club at each of them, in my view. And I know that's down the line quite a bit, but why not? You gotta start somewhere, right, Phyllis? And
exactly. And they work around the clock. So it would be
absolutely
fantastic if they could have 2 clubs, simply because there are workers at all times. And the showcase too. I think my son eats at about 4 a.m. So, around the clock, somebody's there all the time. And although the cafeteria is probably most busy during the day because there are so many 8 to 5 or 8 to 4 workers, there are others around the clock. So we'll see what happens.
Very exciting stuff. And I think there was also talk of a second showcase possibly right after the beginning of the new year, so that we keep the momentum going. And one would assume by that time that we would already have one club going and such. So that would be the impetus behind getting a second club formed and what have you. So very exciting stuff with the Venetian. We're going to be putting out a request for help with the showcase. So anybody with availability midday, we'd love to have you. I'm assuming that 2 or 3 people, maybe 4 people would probably work. So if you're self-employed and have the flexibility, or just have the day off, or have the flexibility otherwise, we'd love to have you. And that email will go out very likely either today or tomorrow, because we're really we're turning this around pretty quick. And the notice, again, it's next week, so it's rather short notice, but it's gonna work out. We've got people who are excited about this, myself included, and yourself included at the district level. So the more the merrier. And let's get this puppy going, as they say. Other big news, Phyllis, Warren Stender, I hope I have his last name right. One of our esteemed area directors has been chatting us up with his employer, Credit One Bank. And I got an email a few days ago about having an initial meeting with Warren's supervisor. and also some other people at Credit One. They are enthusiastic and they're curious about how Toastmasters can be added to the employee benefits overall program. So that's another great possibility. It's obviously, it's always good when the organization's leadership is enthusiastic about us. That is always a great thing to have in your back pocket. So we'll have a initial meeting with Credit One coming up in the near future. So stand by on that one. It's another great possibility. A lot of great things happening in this district. It's really wonderful. And who knows what else may be happening behind the scenes before the end of the year. It's turning out to be a very busy fall around here, which is actually a very good thing. Nothing wrong with that at all. So we'll see what happens with Credit One, but Warren approached me at one of the district officer trainings and said, "Hey, listen, I work at Credit One, and I think there would be interest where I am there." And I'm like, "Well, great. Let's talk to them and let's see what we can do about getting a club formed there." So really exciting stuff going on, and it's going to be good.
Definitely, they are an organization that needs impromptu practice, and our impromptu speaking is exactly where you go to get that. Unusual questions where you have to relate answers. So that certainly is an organization that would like to practice impromptu speaking.
And you bring up a wonderful point, Phyllis, because I know of a story of a Toastmaster who had applied internally for a management position with their employer. And the interview was one of these stress type interviews.
Yeah.
Where it was, tell me about a time when, how would you handle this? How would you handle that? A lot of hypotheticals, because that was what the job was. It was no 2 days are alike. And one of your big responsibilities is, quote unquote, putting out fires. And the person in question, they nailed every single question they were asked, and they credited Table Topics for that. They had been through Table Topics exercises for, goodness, probably over a year or so, and they were ready. I mean, obviously they would need to know something about the organization and something about the job, but they already worked there, so they did. And they were not nervous at all, from what I understand, and they were ready, really, with, okay, I get asked something completely out of the blue. What am I going to do about it? And they had a strategy, and it all worked out great. And then, from what I understand, management was just super impressed, and they actually went to this person and said, listen, we put you through the grinder, and we couldn't make you flinch, and that's what we need in this job. But would you mind telling us, I mean, how did you get that good? Because they were just really wonderfully surprised. And the person mentioned Toastmasters Table Topics, and I think the end result of it was that they wound up getting a club at this particular organization because of this, because the management was like, oh my goodness, we need this here. Yeah. We really need this here. And a bank obviously would have need for impromptu. There is no doubt about it. So really great things.
And an additional thing is, one of our electives is how to handle an interview. So you
are correct.
Get training on handling an interview. If you're looking for new work, come to Toastmasters. Let us help you with your interview.
Yeah, and throw it on your resume that you're a member of Toastmasters, and some of the pathways you've been through, if you've been through any, which just about everybody in the district has, I'm pretty sure. And what the title of the path was. I've been through dynamic leadership. I've been through what have you. Mm-hmm. And you'd be surprised if you are indeed on the job market. You would be surprised how much of a leg up that might give you. Um, there are a lot of people, not only in our district but in other districts, who are in positions of hiring authority, who have either been in Toastmasters or are currently in Toastmasters. And if you sent them a resume with Toastmasters on it and some of the stuff you've done, I can, it would certainly give you a leg up with that person, I would believe wholeheartedly. So a lot of skill building going on, and that's a great thing. But really happy about the Venetian, really happy about what might be happening at Credit One. Big shout out to Warren for getting this going, buddy. Great job. And rest assured that we will get this club underway. And anybody else, I just want to say that. Go ahead, Phyllis.
Time. Yeah, for the rest of the area directors.
Yeah.
Step up, give us a hint of where you think a club might be.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through all the work.
Just no, not
give
at all.
Give us the hint, and we will proceed from there and see if we can make it happen. And then you can work with us to make it happen.
If you work someplace where there is no Toastmasters club, that's a great place to start. And like Phyllis just said, just basically make the intro. And listen, I have friends of mine within our district of Toastmasters that would be happy to come in and talk to you. And as Phyllis just so aptly stated, we will give you all the help necessary. You are absolutely not doing this on your own. If you were to get a chartering process going at your employer or really anywhere that you have involvement, and we'd be happy to get things working. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to do the whole thing. No, you do not. You're going to have all the help you need. And the momentum in this district is very palpable. It's very good. We have some very, very dedicated people, all the area directors, all the division directors, the members getting what they need from their membership. So exciting times right now. We are post-pandemic, thankfully. And, some clubs are back meeting in person. Some are still doing hybrid. Some are still fully online, and that's all fine and great, whatever works for them. But the fact that we're back in person is something that some people find beneficial. So that's a good thing. What's your take on chartering, Phyllis, or your take on promotion within your own organization? I'm sure you've done it. I'm sure you've done one or both in your time.
Well, yes, I've had to go to many startup meetings. I've also had to go to many introductory meetings where you meet with the HR person or someone that thinks they want to have the club. I've also met with like a minister who thought that a club would be great in their church. And I think few people think about it, but there are many speakers in a church rather than just the preacher. Many people get up and do talking. And it is helpful to have a Toastmaster club there in churches. Startup meetings, wow. I always feel like you say, you want to have all the material. And I would say that to some of our seasoned Toastmasters out there, if you still have a collection of magazines, there are no longer Toastmaster magazines, but it's awfully nice and really great to have a magazine to actually give to a person, besides all the interesting little advertisement pieces that Toastmasters puts out. So if you have a few extra magazines, talk to Scott. He might want them for one of his showcase tables. And we can put a label over your label. Don't worry about that. We have plenty of labels that we can label it something else. Or I have received magazines where the address label was, blacked out. But whatever, if you have some, it's nice to have those at the table. And of course, we can no longer be collecting them. But back when I was in 6 clubs, I got 6 magazines every month. So, I have handed out over my lifetime many magazines to people that were doing startup meetings. And in startup meetings also, I like to have people that are seasoned Toastmasters. Many seasoned Toastmasters can tell their story. And it is surprising how much your story is like someone else's. It took me 7 months of being invited to make it to Toastmasters. And then I was in a corner, never thinking I would ever go any further than a meeting at a time. And that's all you think about at that time, is a meeting at a time. And I found out by hearing other people's stories that it's the same. Everybody takes a while sometimes. You have a few talkers that, they're going to do it for leadership or to become public speakers. But there are so many of us that are there to gain confidence. And so when you can explain that at a startup meeting, so people understand that they're not starting out as speakers. Not everybody starts out that way. What you're trying to do is get those people that are in the group, especially in a business group, to be able to speak up and get their thoughts out to management. Could be the best thought in that room is from that person that's sitting in the corner that will not speak. So if you join Toastmasters, you get that confidence in speaking up, especially the impromptu speaking, and being able to put your ideas forth. That's kind of what any business wants. They want the members of the group to be able to give suggestions and help lead the business. So I think that's more of what we're talking about, is getting people the confidence to speak up in the group. You get better employees that have enough confidence to put their ideas forth for you.
Absolutely, you do. Great points. Great points as always. So heading to the bottom of the hour, we wanted to mention something about dues and the Toastmasters website and such. What did you want to say about that, Phyllis?
What did I want to say about
or did I want to say something about it? Maybe I did. Like, I didn't want to say anything, Scott. You did.
To all people that are paying their own dues, or to all treasurers that are out there, they're behind. International's behind, and they're also having problems. And sometimes the approval has gone into one position and not into another. It has been almost 2 months. It was during the time, almost 2 months. It was during the time of the International Convention. I put a member on, wasn't seen. Finally got upset, sent them 2 emails, got their regular thing about, yes, we've got your email, we will answer it in the order received, right? Then I got the survey to want to know, how did I do? Did they do a good job? And I've not even got an answer yet. And I want to tell you that this is the truth. Tuesday of this week, I got an answer from them. Tuesday of this week. So what is that? 6 weeks? And I had already got fed up and called, and it had been taken care of. The only reason they could tell me that it was there was because I had called and got it taken care of. So please do not give up hope, people. They are working on it. Know with confidence that if you did the work, it's going to show eventually. But right now, something has gone wrong. I mean, it's a time when there's so many dues reports coming in, at the end of September. That bogs them down. And then we have all these other things going down. If they're having any problems at all with the website. So give us a chance. It'll get better. Please give us a chance. Do not all be calling into international and complaining. Just give us a chance. Let it happen. Wait at least a couple of weeks or maybe a little longer and see if they don't get everything back together. I mean, it's not like they're not working on it. I mean, they don't need you to tell them that it's down. They know what's happening and they are working on it. So give them a chance, let it be, and just know that if you did the work, it's being taken care of and it will be reconciled. And you will get credit for having your dues reports in on time, even if they don't show. If you got them in on time and they don't show, say, let's give them to October 30th or a little better. They don't show then I would say it's time for a call or an email for them to check on it. But up to that time, you're good to go.
Very well said. Much better than I could have done, trust me. So, Phyllis, what do we got coming up here before we end for Thursday?
I think it's this Saturday night. We will have enrichment night, which is our educational night. And they've added a new feature to this. It's at 6 o'clock on Saturday night, second Saturday of the month. And they have added the Pathways Helpline. And that is done by Dana Wall Oakley. I've been in her classes. I went to her classes personally when she was doing them at a Wendy's. Yeah, and learned about the website and Pathways. So if you're having any problem with Pathways, go and see her. She's going to do a session at 6 o'clock and another one at 7. And you will get personal training. You know, you can ask your questions. She'll bring up the actual website page and go through it with you so you understand how to handle your Pathways problems. So that's this Saturday night. There are other educationals. There is one on the best practices for an open house. It's a panel discussion. It's going to be at 7. So go visit and see what you can find. Ask your questions. No matter what they do, there's always a question and answer period. So if they didn't answer your questions during the program, there will be at least 10 to 15 minutes after the program to answer that before the next session. So check it out.
Very nice. Well, Phyllis, we're at the bottom of the hour.
Yep.
Another great edition of Wake Up with Toastmasters. See you next Thursday, same time, same channel. Thank you so much.
Goodbye, everyone.
See everybody next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.